Hello, everyone, and welcome to my presentation on Army mental health care. My name is Leticia Williams. The nature of the problem is that there are still many hidden issues that exist within the military culture. By making positive changes in the work environment, service members can produce better perceptions of the military. A concerted effort must be made to create a culture of acceptance around mental health, enhance access to resources, and implement programs that cater to the unique needs of service members. The target population is active duty military members, specifically soldiers of the Army. The U.S. military is one of the world's largest and is essential for national defense and global stability. Service members continue to experience increased psychological issues due to the nature of their jobs. The military population is considered high risk, but research shows that service members underutilize mental health services. Military service can be a gratifying experience, but it also involves significant psychological challenges. Soldiers are often exposed to stressful and traumatic events, including the threat or injury of death, witnessing violence, and experiencing loss. These stressors can lead to a range of mental health conditions, such as post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, anxiety, substance abuse, and suicide. A soldier's mental health directly impacts their ability to carry out their duties effectively. The mental health of service members is one of the most critical yet often overlooked aspects of military service. Significant barriers still exist that prevent soldiers from having crucial access to mental health services. Ensuring that soldiers have access to mental health resources contributes to individual wellness and overall readiness and strength of the military. Effective and efficient mental health service is vital for caring for soldiers throughout their careers and once they reintegrate into civilian life. Resources need to be plentiful. Establishing more valuable resources within reach can reduce the economic burden on society. Inputs include the resources of the staff, commanders, leadership, funding, infrastructure, and partnerships with other outside organizations. The raw materials include the service members themselves. Process will consist of standardized consultation, a targeted consultation, mental health prevention, mental health counseling, specific treatment plans, and engaging with partners of organizations. Outputs are staff quarterly trainings that are required, commanders leaders quarterly training, mental health skills workshops for service members, and weekly meetings. Outcomes: increase knowledge, attitude, and beliefs about mental health, improve adaptability to cope with stress, improve quality of life. Impact: reduction of suicides, reduction of mental health crisis situations, increased social regulation, increased sense of empowerment. The goals of these programs include improving Army mental health care in Alaska, because it's a critical mission that addresses the unique challenges faced by service members and their families that are stationed in this remote and demanding environment. By prioritizing mental health, the Army can foster a supportive community, reduce stigma, and empower service members and their families to thrive despite the challenges of Arctic service. The extreme climate, geographical isolation, and operational demands can significantly impact mental health and overall well-being. Establishing a robust preventative framework can help identify mental health risk early, equip soldiers with coping skills, and connect them with appropriate resources to prevent the escalation of mental health challenges. A greater collaboration of mental health services in the Army will provide optimal mission readiness Preventative programs can positively impact knowledge and access to mental health services. This initiative is vital not only for individual wellness, but also for sustaining mission success and operational excellence. The objectives are as follows. By December 31st, 2027, to reduce incidence of crisis-level mental health interventions, such as hospitalizations, by 25% through effective early identification and preventative measures as measured by the Army Behavioral Health Records. By January 1st, 2026, to increase utilization of mental health support resources, such as counseling and peer support groups, by 20% as measured by the Army Behavioral Health Records. By June 31st, 2025, to establish direct referral systems connecting at-risk soldiers to care within 48 hours of identification, achieving a 75% referral compliance rate. The components of a mental health program serve as the building blocks that determine its structure, functionality, and overall success. The components include clients, their age, race, gender, rank, years of service, and education. Staff, gender, race, education, experience, licenses, and accreditations. Materials/resources that include recruitment materials, survey instruments, and ethical materials. Facilities will include office space, class space, libraries, and coffee shops. Equipment that will be used: laptop, tablet, smartphone, clipboards, pens, audio recorder, data entry software. Routine mental health screenings will be conducted regularly during medical mental health checkups for annual evaluation to identify early signs of mental health issues. Preventative educational programs will be offered as workshops that focus on stress management, coping skills, and strategies, and also building resilience. One staff member, who is a counselor, will meet with each individual service member for approximately 60 minutes once per year. There are currently 700 service members in this unit, and staff will utilize 20 hours per week for routine mental health screenings. It will take approximately 35 weeks to complete all screenings for the 700 service members. The staff will meet with 20 service members per week. It will utilize 20 hours out of a 40-hour work week. The materials include brochures, screening tools, resource handouts, and mental health merchandise. It will cost $5 in material per soldier. There will be 20 soldiers seen each week. It will cost $100 per week. The total cost for 35 weeks is approximately $3,500. The preventative education programs, staff will conduct a 2-hour educational class once a week for a group of 20 service members at a time. There are 700 service members, and staff is completing one class per week with only 20 service members per class. It will take approximately 35 weeks to complete all preventative mental health classes for the 700 service members. Staff will conduct a 2-hour educational class once per week. It will utilize 2 hours out of a 40-hour work week. The materials include laptops, clipboards, pens, paper, workbooks, resource handouts, mental health merchandise. It will cost approximately $20 in material per soldier in every class. There will be 20 soldiers in each educational class per week. It will cost $400 per week for the educational class. The total cost for 35 weeks will be approximately $14,000. Final outputs for the routine mental health screenings. Service member completes an introduction to counseling by discussing personal areas of life with the counselor. Service member learns how to seek help for mental health problems. Final output for preventative educational programs. Service member completes the mental health educational program by passing a post-test and receiving a certification. Service members will be trained on stress management, coping strategies, and how to respond appropriately to a mental health crisis. Intermediate outcomes. For routine mental health screenings, service member will have enhanced access to care, increased referrals to counselors or mental health professionals following screenings, a normalization of mental health conversations, and a decrease in negative attitude towards seeking help. Preventative education programs. Service members will gain a better understanding of mental health, common conditions, and the importance of seeking help early. Service members will feel more equipped to handle stress and recover from setbacks. Routine mental health screenings. Service member will have improved mental health and well-being, enhanced mission readiness, increased retention and satisfaction, and long-term cost savings. Preventative educational programs. Service member will have sustained resilience and coping strategies, a positive cultural shift, prevention of long-term mental health disorders, reduction of a crisis situation, and long-term cost savings. First, service members are selected by birth month to complete mental health screenings. Then the service member completes the intake forms and is scheduled for a mental health screening with a licensed counselor. Next, service member meets with the counselor for a 60-minute mental health checkup. Then either the mental health checkup enables the service member to utilize referral for counseling services, or the service member needs no further mental health referral. If the service member needs a referral, then the service member is provided an appointment to begin counseling services. And the service member is also provided mental health resources. If the service member needs no further mental health referral, the service member is still provided mental health resources. For formative evaluation, the evaluation of effort questions are: what percentage of participants report improved mental health outcomes after completing the program? What is the average score change on a mental health assessment tool for participants? Is there a relationship between the number of sessions attended and an improvement in mental health outcomes? Do participants in different demographic groups show differing levels of improvement in mental health outcomes? Evaluation of cost efficiency. What is the average cost per soldier treated under the mental health program? What percentage of the program's total budget is allocated to administrative overhead? Is there a relationship between the program's budget allocation for preventative care and the reduction of mental health crisis incidents? Does the cost per soldier treated vary based on the delivery method? Summative evaluation. Evaluation of outcome questions include: what is the average reduction in mental health symptoms among soldiers who participated in the mental health program? What percentage of soldiers who participated in the program reported improved overall mental health? Is there a relationship between the number of program sessions attended and the reduction in mental health symptoms? Does the program's impact on mental health outcomes differ between active duty and reserve soldiers? Evaluation of cost effectiveness. The questions include: what is the total cost of delivering the mental health program per class? What is the return on investment for the mental health program? Is there a relationship between the amount of funding allocated to mental health prevention programs and the reduction of crisis-related costs? Does the use of preventative programs in mental health reduce the overall cost of care compared to reactive treatment? Performance measurement. Collecting and compiling program utilization data for an Army preventative mental health program would involve tracking how the program is accessed, used, and benefiting its target population. Data collection on program implementation will ensure that the Army mental health program achieves its intended goal while maintaining high quality and fidelity. A thorough evaluation of measurable changes tied to the Army's mental health program's goals is vital for success. Impact Program Evaluation. The Type 1 design with a single group pre-test/post-test is most appropriate for an Army mental health program. It offers actionable insights into program impact while accommodating the unique constraints of military environments. A single group pre-test/post-test strikes a balance between practical implementation and meaningful evaluations. The proposed budget is $897,200. The first category is personnel, which includes the program director who's going to oversee the program implementation, manage the staff, and evaluate, mental health counselors, 2 administrative staff, and some contracted trainers who will facilitate the workshops. The second category is employee-related expenses. These include taxes, benefits, and allowances. The third category is the facility cost, which includes the rented space, utilities such as electricity and water, and internet fees. The fourth category are office supplies, such as computers, printers, projectors, copies, pens, pencils, paper, printer ink, etc. The fifth category is program material and activities. This includes technology software, workshop supplies, outreach campaign supplies, screening tools. The sixth category is professional development and training. This will be staff training on an annual basis to make sure they are equipped with providing preventative mental health care. The seventh category is evaluation and research. This includes data collection and analysis and annual program audits. The eighth category is miscellaneous. These include travel expenses and contingency funds for any unplanned expenses or emergencies. Funding for Army preventative mental health programs can come from various sources to ensure it provides comprehensive support for soldiers to address their unique mental health challenges. The funding will come from different government organizations. One is the Department of Defense, who often has allocated funds for programs through DoD appropriations. Veterans Affairs is another government agency that can provide funds for preventative programs to help with mental health issues. Military-specific organizations support soldier well-being and can be a source of funding for mental health-related programs. One example is Military OneSource, which offers funding and resources for programs that improve mental and military life. State and local governments can also offer grants and funding for mental health initiatives targeting the military community. Collaborations between different entities can provide the needed funding to support a preventative mental health care program. Significant barriers still exist that prevent soldiers from having crucial access to mental health services. Education, support, and resources are the main barriers to accessing mental health services. Preventative programs that identify mental health risk early, equip soldiers with coping skills, and connects them with appropriate resources to prevent the escalation of mental health challenges is needed for the evolving Army. Introducing routine mental health screenings and new preventative educational programs can help identify early signs of mental health issues. Future research in military mental health care can focus on several innovative and impactful areas to enhance the well-being of military personnel.